Let me turn the TV down. Okay. I remember I remember when I this is a little rant. I remember I remember when I was first getting ready to separate from the Navy. Um at first, it was a mix of emotions because like I said, like at one point the Navy was all I knew. Um in the recruiting field. I was recruiting for about 3.5 years, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed, helping people, giving people a second chance. But I remember when I was separating from the Navy, all I could, no, I remember while I was in the Navy, I went through a lot, especially when it came to my family. It was just like I was putting them on the back burner. I was putting my family on the back burner and I was putting myself on the back burner. It was to the point where it was just like, something's got to give. And I was doing that because at the time, it was the leadership that I was under that um made me, I'm not going to say they made me put my family on the back burner, but the things they said, the things they did scared me. And me being, of a lower rank, I felt like I did not have a voice. So it was like, if you say something, I feel like if I said something, it would come back on me, or, the higher rankers would, retaliate against me. But I also said to myself, back in 2000, I told one of my friends that was a recruiter with me. I remember telling her, I said, as I was getting ready to separate, I told her, I said, I don't want to work for anybody anymore. I said, I'm tired of working for the man. That's what I call it. I said, I don't want to work for anybody. I want to work for myself. I want to be able to provide for my family by working for myself. I don't want to have to answer to anybody. Guarantee the only person I would ever answer to is God. I said, I don't want to answer to anybody. I'm tired of, because and I'm tired of putting my family on the back burner, forgetting, not taking care of them, not taking care of myself. And all the time while I was I've had people tell me, D or petty officer, you have to take care of you have to take care of yourself if in order to take care of your family. And that was actually very hard to do without, it was very hard to take care of myself and take care of my family. I just recently decided, realize what was meant by you need to take care of yourself before you could take care of your family. Being pregnant, I got sick with COVID, and it's crazy because we're still trying to figure out how I got sick because I literally don't go anywhere. But being pregnant with COVID, I did take care of myself, but I took care of my family first. I made sure my kids were, taking their vitamins and, eating healthy, doing all this stuff. And while doing that, I totally forgot about myself because my kids were in school. I had a baby here. I didn't want the kids to come home from school and, kiss the baby and all this stuff. So it was to the point where I was like, as soon as you get home from school, you take a shower, then you eat your snack and all that stuff. I don't touch the baby. Don't say nothing. Just go straight to the shower and take a shower. After you've done all that, then you can interact with the baby. They had to take their shoes off at the door. They had to, I was spraying them down with Lysol. Like my house was smelling like Lysol at one point. It was like my house was, you have some houses have like a fragrance. My house smelled like Lysol. That was our perfume. But it was to the point where I was so concerned about them bringing home COVID that I ended up getting sick, and everybody in my house tested negative except me. And it was to the point where the COVID was so bad, I was like literally, I felt like I died twice. I had COVID once, but I felt like during the time that I had COVID or during the time that I was fighting COVID, I felt like I had died. Like it was just like my body, I could not move, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't do anything. I was isolated from everybody. I was isolated from my kids. I was isolated from my husband. It was bad. Like I could like my husband, he took care of me, and he did it with no fear. I think it's because he felt like, I'm vaccinated, so I'm good. So he literally took care of me. The baby wanted to, lay down with me. I couldn't even kiss my kids. My daughter didn't even want to come by the room door. If I wanted to go outside the house, I had to put a mask on, and my husband would spray as I'm walking outside the house, to the backyard, the pool area. He would spray Lysol, so in order, just to protect everybody. And like I said, everybody tested negative except me. And then that's when I realized, Deidre, you need to take care of yourself. Like, if you don't take care of yourself, you are worthless to your kids. And it took me getting COVID to find that out. But during my time in the Navy, there were times where my kids would get sick and the schools would call me, and I would have to be like, yo, my daughter's sick. There was a time when my daughter was sick every day of the week when she was in school. Every day of the week she would get sick. And you could tell it, like, it would be in, like, she would go to school and she'd be fine, but during the day, like, as the day went by, she would get sick. One day, my husband went to go pick her up, and her whole side of one of her eyes was just like really, really swollen. And he'd bring her to my job for me to see how sick she was. And I was like, I felt bad. There were times where I wouldn't eat lunch because I felt like if I would go and eat lunch, it would be a problem with my supervisor. Oh, why are you going to eat lunch when we have numbers and we have people we need to put in the Navy? Yes, we have people to put in the Navy. It took for new leadership to be like, yo, the job is going to be there tomorrow. Your family comes first. And the new leadership realized that I was going down like I was just not, I was depressed, very, very, very depressed. But like I said, being in the Navy has taught me, like I said, I'm not working for nobody else anymore. I want to work on my terms. I want to be there for my kids. There was times where I've missed performances from my kids because of the military, and it's not like I'm being deployed, because I've been deployed twice for 9 months each. But it's not like, and at the time, those times that I was deployed, I didn't have kids, but now I do have kids. So it was just like, I'm not saying the military is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. It has its ups and it has its downs, and it's what you make of it. And I tried to make it the best thing and that I could I tried to make it the best thing that I could by helping people, because I was not, one of those recruiters that put high school students in. I was a recruiter that put prior service members in. So basically, you were in the Navy, or you were in the Marines, or you was in the Air Force, and you got out, and then here you call me because you want to come back in. You want to finish what was started, because that's what I did. I wanted to finish what I started. I had goals. I wanted to, make first, and that no matter how hard I studied, no matter, I had the 4.0 evals, I had the EP evals, and I still could not make second. And I would study my ass off, and I just could not make second. That pissed me off. But then with the Navy, it's all a numbers games, and sometimes I feel like it's who you know and whose ass you kissed. And it's just not my cup of tea. I'm not kissing nobody's butt. But anyway, all these goals I had, I wanted to achieve while I was in the Navy, and it was just like, I felt like the odds were stacked up against me. But even though they were still stacked up against me, I still tried. I was like, I'm not giving this up, because even when I found out it was almost my time to get out, I was like, I'm going to fight this. I should have fought more, because I feel like if I did fight harder and pushed harder, I probably would have made it. I probably would have won my fight when you think about it. But that's another story in itself. But today I realized, like, my son, he has, like, his ear was bothering him. And my husband had to take him to the emergency room, to get it looked at or whatever. But the thing is, I called my husband. He was at work, and I was like, "Hey, Amir's ear, something's wrong with it." And my husband was like, "Is it swollen like last time or whatever?" And I didn't think to look at that. So then when I decided to look at it, after I hung up the phone with him, I looked at his ear, and I was like, "Holy cow, it is swollen." So I called my husband, and I told him, I said, "Yeah, it's swollen. And we definitely need to take him in. There's no way I'm going to wait till Monday to take him to the pediatrician, because it can get so swollen that it probably the whole side of his face would probably be swollen by the end of the weekend." So I felt like my husband was hesitating to take him because he was at work. I say all this to say, we shouldn't, as you know, and I understand, I feel like we shouldn't have to hesitate when it comes to our family. I'm not saying that he wasn't going to come through, because my husband always comes through no matter what the situation is. He always comes through for me and his kids. But I just don't feel like we should have to hesitate or say, "Oh, let me see what I can do," when it comes to our kids. Like for me, I'm the type of person, when it comes to the kids, I will drop everything that I'm doing to make sure they're good. But at the same time, what I've learned having COVID, I can't do that. Like I would have taken him to the hospital, but I can't do that. I am 30. Ooh, 30. This is bad. I don't know. I think I'm 33 weeks, almost 34 weeks pregnant. And I had COVID, and I just can't bring myself to put I'm just not gonna put myself in a predicament to where I get sick again. I'm just not going to. There's so many other things. There's so many different variants going around. And so many different things that this COVID could do to you. I don't know, and I'm not vaccinated yet, but I promise you this: after I had this baby, I'm gonna get shot up real quick. Um, but yeah, I just don't feel like we should, as you know, employees or whatever, working for the government or whoever we're working for, we should have to contemplate if we could take our kids to the doctor, or if we could do this, because there's plenty of times where I was not even able to take my kids to the doctor, and my kids expect me to be at their doctor's appointment. Sometimes they don't want daddy to be at their doctor's appointment, or sometimes we both want to be there. Like sometimes my husband, I thank God my husband worked at night and I worked in the daytime, because it can be very, very hard. But like I said, I have so many talents and that I can use to, I have many talents. And this year alone, I'm not putting myself out there to, because once I get into like a field, I focus on that and I forget everything else, because I want to be great at whatever I do. And right now, what I want to do, I want to be great at helping other people. And if that means, doing it, being independent and not working for somebody else, then that's what I'm going to do. Cause I just think it sucks. I just think it's bad. Like that we have to choose, and we have to choose between our job and our kids. And that's how I felt being in the Navy. So many times I felt like I had to choose between my job and my kids, because I was told if I do such and such, I would get in trouble. Or, now you have to stay till freaking 8, 9 o'clock at night because you took your kids to the doctor. I'm like, what? Are you serious? Because I took my kids to the doctor. I have to stay at work till 8, 9 o'clock at night. My daughter is going through depression because mommy's never home. Mommy's always working. No, I'm not doing that no more. My kids are always going to come first. And I've learned that in order for my kids to come first, I need to take care of me first. So I'm going to take care of myself so that way I can take care of my kids. And I'm not going to let some job or dictate that, because that's how I felt the Navy did me. But yeah, I just felt, that was just on my chest. I will be great this year, and that's just that. I don't know what else to say. You guys have a good night. Stay blessed. Talk to you guys later. Bye.